Hey guys, welcome in week 10 of the college football season, and we got a pretty good one here. Could it be upset alert as Notre Dame taking on the Clemson Tigers? 7:30 Eastern Time kickoff here this Saturday, November 5th. Steve Merril, Kevin Dolan joining us here. And guys, this is going to be real interesting because, Kevin, we just watched Notre Dame handle business against a pretty tough Syracuse squad who gave Clemson all they could handle just a couple of weeks ago. They are laying 4.5 Clemson on the road against Notre Dame. 47.5 is the total. What do you think of this matchup?
Irish moneyline, Joe. You know why you even asked me this question? Come on, man. Blowout City. Easy. Easy money. Look, out of the three games we've covered in these midweek videos, this is the hardest for me in terms of making a straight selection here. I was leaning Clemson initially, just going off my power rankings. I was looking at the under as well. But both of these lines are, they're pretty much perfect in my opinion. The only play actually that might be worth a look here is that Notre Dame under 10 points prop in the first half of this game on Saturday. Notre Dame have only averaged 11 points per game. They're pretty slow starters so far this season in the first halves of games at home this year. Those home games coming against Marshall, California, Stanford, and UNLV. All defenses, obviously, you wouldn't exactly put on par with this Clemson version. So, if you're only averaging 11 points per game against those types of defenses in the first half, how many points are you going to put up against, one of the best defenses in the country this year? So I don't see a whole ton of value on the more, kind of straightforward vanilla markets in this game, side total and so on. But I think that prop on the first half Notre Dame team total under is live in this one. As, I'd be surprised if Notre Dame can eclipse double digits here in the first half on Saturday. So, that's what I'm looking at in this one for this weekend anyway. Notre Dame team total under 10 points in the first half against Clemson.
All right. Not a bad way to look here, Steve Merril. You knew he was going Notre Dame. How about you, man? What do you think we're going to get here?
You also know that I want a reason to pronounce DJ Uiagalelei.
Yes.
And I bring that up because this was like his second game ever. I think he started the week before in 2020 against Boston College when Trevor Lawrence was injured. But, of course, he played in that, 47-40, that shootout as a 5-point favorite. They lost at Notre Dame, and this was 2 years ago when they last played. I'm not going to call it a revenge spot here for Clemson for that reason, but I do think they'll be focused. And had the bye situation been the reverse, it would have been really nice for Notre Dame because home dogs with the bye often have a nice edge, but that's not the case. They had to play up at Syracuse last week while Clemson was sitting at home with extra rest and preparation. So it does look like a good setup for the Tigers for that reason. What do we do, though, with Notre Dame? This is a team that was ranked, 5th when the season began? And this will not even be in my college football top 25 video this weekend at WagerTalk.com because Notre Dame is not even ranked, even though they have 3 losses. Clemson, perfect 8-0. AP poll number 5 this week. Coaches poll number 5. So they're kind of hanging around there. They've got plenty of incentive for a big win. I'm not sure they're going to pass anybody by beating Notre Dame, but it'll be at least a start. And keep in mind that win against Syracuse, even though they were losing most of that game, Notre Dame won easy. This is why it's so important. You can't just compare common opponents. Clemson had a 4-1 turnover deficit in that game a couple weeks ago. Statistically, they had a pretty nice edge against Syracuse at home. And then Notre Dame benefited from catching Syracuse off the loss. So if you're comparing apples to apples, I don't think that's the case here, even though Notre Dame had a more impressive road win against Syracuse than Clemson did at home. Be careful with that because the situation was not exactly the same. As far as this matchup, Notre Dame does qualify as a good defensive dog, and that's something that always catches your eye at home in high-profile games. But I do think Clemson moves the ball better, especially on the ground. 2 teams, though, that have been pretty mediocre at times offensively this year, and Clemson has been better defensively overall. So could make a case for the under for that reason. The only problem is that it's pretty low here in the 47.5 range for modern college football. Average scores are in the mid-50s normally. But I do think both defenses hold the edge. And if that's the case, maybe there is some value catching more than a field goal with the Irish. But I think Clemson's a better team. The under would probably be the preferred play for me right now.
All right. Should be a real good one here, guys, as Notre Dame figured some things out. Does Clemson continue to roll? You may want to head over to WagerTalk.com. Visit both Steve Merril and Kevin Dolan, guys. Pick up one of those 3-day, 7-day all-access packages here. Never miss a play from these guys as we head into what is going to be a very profitable Week 10 in college football.